What's up, guys? Winter Kills here, and wanted to give you guys a little announcement update before the video gets started. And basically, I want to preface this announcement by saying a few days ago, somebody from TCG Player actually messaged me saying that they discovered my videos while trying to get back into the game of Yu-Gi-Oh! And they found them not only extremely helpful, but also enjoyed the style of my videos as well, which I thought was, of course, amazing. And it's always nice to see that I can help people find joy in things that they once used to. And I get messages and comments like that quite often, and I love seeing that. And basically, through those messages and some back and forth talk and some meeting with some amazing people from TCG Player, we are now actually partnered and affiliated with TCG Player. And basically what that means is I now have the opportunity to have a link in the description of my videos, which will take you guys to TCG Player if you would like to buy any cards or sealed products or anything on the site at all. Basically, you use the link and navigate the site as normal. It requires nothing else of you. And basically, the only thing that happens that's different than a normal purchase is I receive a small cut of the revenue from your purchase. So they're making it easy for you guys to, use the, website that is TCG Player that we all know and love. And at the same time, you can help support me and make it easier for me to make the videos that you guys know and love on a daily basis, and help support me in the process through using TCG Player like you normally would. So it's amazing that they reached out to me and are willing to give me this opportunity for you guys to support me and help support me through this whole affiliation, to be able to help me keep putting out there these videos that you guys love so much, and that I love to make, because I love being able to help people get into the game and just put out content covering decks that people love, covering live duels and things like that. So I'm very grateful for this opportunity, and thank you to anybody that uses the link, whether it's today or tomorrow or a few months from now, who knows. So I really appreciate anybody who's done that. And if you want to support me just by using TCG Player like you normally would, it's greatly appreciated. So of course, a huge shout out to TCG Player for this amazing opportunity, and a huge thanks to all of you guys who've supported me through the years and making this possible by putting me in the position to even have this opportunity in the first place. So thank you guys so much. Hope you guys enjoyed this little announcement video. It's absolutely amazing, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. What's going on, guys? Winter Kills here, and welcome back to a brand new post commentary duel video. Today we've got the Gizemk Orochi deck, the Gren Maju Banish OTK deck, whatever you want to call it, versus pure Mekk-Knights. This was a testing match I filmed the night before. I ended up taking a different build of the one that I'm playing in this video of Pure Mech, and I actually ended up splitting for first after 6 rounds, and then played in another tournament afterwards and only went X1 in 4 rounds. So did very, very well with Pure Mech in a recent tournament, but it's not this build that I'm playing, because I was testing this build to see if I'd like it better than the build I was playing previously. I didn't, so the testing sort of worked out in my favor, helping me to find a build that I actually like, but I'm still working on a completely different build right now. So I probably won't update the Pure Mekk-Knight deck profile until after the YCS, because I don't know if I'm going to do a profile beforehand. I don't know, just because I want to. It's probably going to be changes up until like the very day of the YCS. So without further ado, he's going to end up going first, of course, because I think I won the dice roll, and I'm going to opt to go second. Of course, both of our decks really want to go second, being that we both can OTK very easily given the right circumstances. But I will win the dice roll, and I get to go second. He's going to start with the Extravagance. That is a proxy for Extravagance. Just a heads up there. But regardless, getting started with a Fairy Tale Luna on the normal summon there, he's going to go ahead and grab a copy of another Fairy Tale Luna. So he essentially now has a Walking Compulse on his side of the field, which could prove to be a bit dangerous, so long as I, don't. If I play around this card correctly, it shouldn't be too big of a deal, because if I summon any Mekk-Knights, try to attack into it, it's just going to get bounced back to my hand. But luckily for me, I've got the Mind Control, which is a card that I've starting to love more and more in here. Originally wasn't playing it. I was playing Call by the Grave instead. But I've decided to cut those for the Mind Controls, and testing they proved really well, and obviously in the tournaments I took it to proved to be very well. You know, very, very useful card. Helped me win a couple games, definitely, against Thunder Dragon and Orcust. But luckily, I have Mekk-Knight of Ram to be able to normal summon here and be able to go into Morningstar, which is key. That of Ram sometimes is a very helpful card. Discard the Indigo for the Morningstar effect. Unfortunately, he has the Ash Blossom. But I've got the follow-up in the Purple Nightfall, and I'm going to swing in for 4,500 here before I go ahead and attempt to use my Purple Nightfall, because I'm afraid he might have another hand trap or something else that'll prevent my Purple Nightfall from going through. But I decide to just go ahead and get some damage in first and then move into main phase 2 and try to use my Purple if I can and see, you know, if I can just get the damage on board and then focus on resolving effects later on. So adding Blue Sky here, which I think is the right play for the most part. So I have at least 2 searches to go about next turn. I've got the purple coming back, and I've got the Blue Sky in hand as well to, you know, have follow-up plays. A good follow-up play anyways. So if he has to be kind of conscious of what type of column he makes this turn or where he's placing his cards. He's got the Pankratops and then follows up with a Gamma Seal over top of Morningstar, which is pretty unfortunate. But not only did I just lose protection in the battle phase with the Morningstar, of course, but I now have to worry about this walking destruction effect. That quick effect pop from the Pankratops can prove to be very difficult to deal with sometimes. It can clear a lot of cards on its own. In the battle phase at 2,600 can get over quite a few things. And then main phase 2 or during your opponent's turn, simply it's up to them how they deal with that Pankratops. If they can get around it in the proper way. Now we're going to see Eater of Millions banish some here. I imagine he'll go for 5 from his extra deck. And he's already got 6 banished from his extra from the Pot of Extravagance that we saw at the start. But now there's the Gren Maju. And that, I believe, is boosted up quite a bit. And I think he is very, very, very close to game right here. I'll have to go back and look at the original footage to see exactly how many he banished off his Eater of Millions. But he'll swing over the Gamma Seal with the Gren Maju. And I guess he could have also swung over the Gamma Seal with the Pankratops instead, of done 400, then attacked directly with the Gren Maju and the Eater of Millions. But after all is said and done, I'm dropped down to 100 life points. He miscalculated the damage on his end and didn't have quite game. But I mean, at this point, he still has an Eater of Millions and a Pankratops on his field and possibly hand traps as well. So he's definitely not out of the game yet, and neither am I. I've got Purple Nightfall coming back here in the standby phase, as you would expect. And I've got a column already pre-made here with that set card and his Gren Maju. So I've got room to work with, at least to attempt to resolve this Blue Sky. So we're going to summon that to the field and see if he'll use the Pankratops here. One of my biggest threats on his field right now is not only the Pankratops, but that Eater of Millions. I can't really do anything about that. The only thing I'm going to have to do is try to remove it via a card like Red Moon, as you see me add to my hand right now. But unless I can get like Indigo on board or another column set up in that same column as the Eater of Millions, with baiting out the Pankratops, like there's just not much I can do to get it over into that column. Because I think the only Mekk-Knight I have in my hand right now is the Red Moon. So I've got to set a card, special summon the Red Moon, and that same column that the Pankratops is in. And he's thinking on the summon of the Red Moon whether or not he's going to use that Pankratops. This is ultimately what I'm trying to bait out. So going to go ahead and tribute the Pank and just going to pop my set card instead. Because now he knows that I cannot use the Red Moon because, of course, there's no monster there anymore. So might as well clear that set card. And it ends up being a set sign at mining, which really sucked because I could have used that to discard to go get Ibly. But in this build, keep in mind, I was not playing the Draconet engine. I decided to drop that just to run 3 Ibly and 3 Timaton and have that sort of be my going first option. And decided to cut some stuff. So this is a very experimental build. I ended up not liking it at all. And testing just proved to be very, very bad. I just did not like it that much. And I'm glad I switched the build out for that tournament I went to the other day, or else I would have been in a bad spot and would not have done as nearly as good as I thought, or as I have done already. But yeah, so I do have Indigo in hand, and that is going to link into Morningstar. Will be discarded after I link into Morningstar. And looks like my Morningstar is going to resolve here, and try and grab a World Legacy spell or trap, or World Legacy card, or I believe it's a spell or trap. And I think at this point I go for secrets, as I don't really have any other cards that will help deal with the situation that is going on. I've got 100 life points. I need Morningstar. I need Indigo. I need that access to be able to block damage any way that I can. Because right now, with the placement of my Morningstar, if he attacks over the Morningstar, I won't take any battle damage, and my monster will not be destroyed by battle. But this leaves me to, you know, how do I deal with Eater of Millions? Well, I guess that's what the secrets is for. So I'm going to pass it back to him. I think I have Ghost Ogre in hand, which is proving to be rather underwhelming here in game 1. And now it's up to him to see how he wants to deal with this remaining 100 damage. So he's going to normal summon the Fairy Tale Luna, and on that summon he's going to activate the effect to add another spellcaster from his deck to hand with 1850 attack. And I chain secrets here, and this is the thing that sucks, is that he can chain in response to secrets with that quick effect to bounce, which is very unfortunate, because I won't be able to get Indigo on the field in time to be able to negate that effect. I think what I should have done is waited a little bit longer, you know, in hindsight, waited a bit longer to see if he was going to use that bounce effect where I would have the upper hand and be able to get Indigo on field as the next chain link. It's chain link 2 essentially to be able to negate it. And then I have Indigo Morningstar, and maybe I can buy myself another turn. Because I believe if Indigo is in the same column as Eater of Millions, he can attack, but I think when that effect tries to activate, it will be negated ultimately because of secrets. Unless the card unless the Eater of Millions has a really high attack and just can get over the Indigo anyways, which I think it might. But yeah, so Luna gets bounced back. I opt not to send another copy of Morningstar in my extra, because I think I was only playing 2 in this build, so I didn't have an extra copy. And right now I'm debating on where I put this Indigo. It doesn't really matter where I put it, because his Gren Maju can run it over, and yeah, it just does not matter. And I couldn't use the Instant Fusion next turn anyways, so we're going to head into game 2, where I want to mention a quick shout out to our sponsor, alongside TCG Player now, of course, Imperium Duelist, a provider of the amazing playmats and sleeves we have, and dice. If you guys want to pick up any sleeves or playmats or anything like that, check out a link to their website down below. And you can head over to the website, use that discount code WinterKills10 off to save 10% off your entire purchase. So yeah, feel free to use that if you'd like. Help support me. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and get into game 2 here, though. The Ibli into Link Disciple. When I played this at the tournament, it was like one of the most clutch normal summons that I had to start off a lot of my turns. Because it just gets you a column, gets them Ibli, which, and you know, worst case scenario, they lose their battle phase. Best case scenario, they literally can't play around it, especially in a deck like Striker. They don't see a card like Area Zero or Multi-Roll, and they're just in a really bad spot. And against a lot of other decks, it can hurt pretty bad when they just can't start off with normal special summon plays. They just have to outright lose their battle phase. But the Ogre on the Purple Nightfall is going to hurt quite a bit, more so than I expected, since I don't have any other follow-ups in my hand. My hand just not the greatest. The only thing I had going for it was this play. In battle phase, you know, the battle phase is shame. Gonna take the 500 just to clear that off the field, which is nice though, because now I've got him to use up his battle phase, which is huge in a matchup like this, because normally that would mean his battle phase in an OTK deck is very, very important to him, obviously, much like it is mine. But at least in my deck, if I do have to run up against an Ibli, I do have the out for it. At least that main deck Link Disciple. which I guess in this current build, I'm not running either Ibly or Draconet. Instead of I'm running the Cosmic Compass at 2 copies, and 2 copies of Lead the World Chalice Fairy as an actual normal summon target, because on summon it can grab me the World Legacy World Chalice. Then I can link that into Salamangreat Almirage to give me a column, or at least something in the extra monster zone to work with. And then, worst case scenario, I can use the effect of the Lead the World Chalice Fairy engraved to ditch that chalice back to the graveyard to add it back to my hand as a follow-up for next turn. And I have that guaranteed search next turn as a, using the effect of Banish to search a World Legacy card. So, on my turn, after he passes back to me, I try to start with the Galaxy Cyclone. He flips up the summon limit, so Cyclone cannot hit it since it's no longer set. I set a card and pass, but I do have this recursion effect next turn of that Cyclone. I can use it again to banish the target on any face-up spell or trap and hit that card. But now he's got Pankratops, debating on what zone to put it in, and tries to go into the center column there. And goes in battle phase and swings over for 1100. Fortunately, of course, that Link Disciple only having 500 attack to Pankratops 26, and in battle phase here, he's going to opt to summon that Gizemk Orochi, the Serpentron Sky Slasher, banishing 8, no problem, fueling up his a possible Gren Maju in the following turn by quite a bit, and going to swing in with 2450, dropping me down to 4450 to his 7000, and still has that summon limit on board, but he's going to go ahead and pass it to me. I draw for turn. Got a little bit of life points here to work with in case I have something like Instant Fusion. Gonna start off with the Galaxy Cyclone, no problem. Let's get rid of that summon limit. First things first. So I'm not hindered into sort of making any weird plays because of summon limit. Especially when I have to deal with a Pankratops as well, which could prove to be pretty bad. And speaking of Instant Fusion, there it is. Pay the 1,000 life points to go ahead and get this possibly. I believe it's the 1,000 Ice Restrict. It's the only Instant Fusion target I'm currently playing. And at this point, I know he has to use Pankratops. He has to use it on summon, even on effect activation. He's got to use it. So he uses Pankratops, clears 1,000 Eyes Restrict, no problem. So that has been successfully baited out. But as for a follow-up normal summon, I do not have one. I've got an Ibly. Got no other cards to link it away with, though, so I just decided to set it, and unfortunately, I have to pass it back to him. Already a Gizemk on field. I have to standby phase, pitch that Lancia, shotgun it, and hope he doesn't have anything in response, and unfortunately, he has a Gizemk in his hand, which will chain to the activation of Lancia, banish another 8, and things are just starting to quickly spiral out of control. So now let me just have one Gizemk. He's got 2 on the board now. Of course, playing a total of 3 in the main deck, and there's the Gren Maju with 16 banished cards. It is just a lot of damage right there. It does not matter. And yeah, we're going to scoop it up there. Unfortunately, taking the 2-0 loss to the Gren Maju Gizemk deck. But definitely a matchup I think I'm pretty okay with not that build. That build I was testing there, not a huge fan of. But this new build, at least the one I took to the tournament, very, very well. I did a tournament report for it on my stream last night. If you guys want to check that out, link to my Twitch down below. Also, I posted the deck list in the Discord, so join the Discord if you want. It's in the Deck Ideas channel under the main category. Highly recommend you guys join the Discord if you haven't already. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. So, these guys, Winner Kills signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one.